Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Smith, along here with Andrew Connolly. I'd like to welcome you to the Situation Live with Ben and Andrew. Today we are live from Studio A here at Scituate High.
We'd like to start off today by thanking Mr. John Roser for allowing us this studio space to film everything here. And today our top story is ballot questions. These are the laws that aren't voted upon in our state legislative branch. Instead, they are put out on the ballot and voted by the citizens on Election Day, which is Tuesday, November 8th.
Isn't democracy great, Andrew?
It's so awesome.
We have a few resident experts in here to talk to you guys about these questions today. First, to talk about question 2, we have John Martin and Sam Conley.
All right, thanks, Ben. So essentially what question 2 is proposing is that to add 12 new charter schools to the Massachusetts school districts.
So these charter schools would not be in places like Scituate. They mostly be in places like Boston, underperforming school districts. In these school districts, they currently have 36,000 applicant students that are not being able to reach any charter schools.
Many people are opposed to this because they believe that it's going to strip the budget for public schools by 3-to-1 ratio. However, that's not necessarily true for where we're living. Per se, but it could affect places in Boston, definitely.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, in cities like Boston, where there's a lot of charter schools, the budget is already divided. So it wouldn't really make as much of a difference versus if it was here, we cut our budget in half. There was a new school to be found here.
To blindside charter schools would be a bad idea because, as Sam said earlier, there's 36,000 pending applications to charter schools, which means that the people of Boston want charter schools.
Thanks, guys. We now introduce you to George Malouf, who will talk about question 3 on the ballot.
Thanks, Andrew. For question 3, the yes vote applies to any sale of veal, pork, or eggs that come from animals raised in a certain space that confines them from standing up, lying down, or turning around. Selling any of these products will cause a $1,000 fine as a maximum from either in-state or out-of-state. That is where the controversy lies, as certain people don't feel that they should be prohibited from selling out-of-state products from a law that only applies to Massachusetts.
Thanks, George. Now to talk about question 4, Brian Coughlin.
Thanks, guys. A yes on question 4 will legalize marijuana in Massachusetts, making it join Colorado, Alaska, Oregon, Washington, and Washington, D.C. For the legalization of recreational use of marijuana. The conditions of this legalization would be that everyone who would purchase marijuana in a store would be 21 years or older. People would be able to grow up to 6 plants in their home, able to carry 1 ounce in public and 10 ounces in their home. Marijuana would be taxed 3.75% in stores across Massachusetts. Marijuana would be safer for consumers in Massachusetts because it will be tested, packaged, and labeled, and made sure it is not contaminated. In stores, it will be regulated by asking for an ID, and everyone must be 21 years or older. Hemp is made from the plant fibers of marijuana and is very useful in body care, building materials, clothing, and fuel. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bri. We went around the school yesterday and talked to students about their opinions on these ballots. Let's take a look at those.
How many questions are you familiar with?
For this election, I know about question 4, which I think is the legalization of marijuana, and I also know about question 2, which is charter schools.
So what do you feel about question 2?
Question 2, as a public school student, I don't really know the two options. I'm pretty ignorant. I can't vote. And but I do know that I want whatever's best for public schools, and I think that one thing in America that's so great about public schools is that they are a resource for everyone, and charter schools are not. So, yeah, whatever one's for public schools.
And what about question 4, legalization of marijuana?
I definitely think that marijuana should be legal because I think right now it's being used as a device to put more people in jail, and right now the incarceration rates in the United States are way too high and that they should be lowered.
I am here with Casey Boynton now. Casey Boynton is a junior and unfortunately cannot vote. But Casey, we're talking ballot questions today. You're familiar with question 2?
Question 2,
and
charter schools.
Charter schools. You wanna tell us what you think about them?
I don't know what a charter school is, but I guess it's like public schools but better. And I have no stance because I'm here. My parents are probably voting no. Or just legalization of marijuana. That's fine with me.
Question 1 is discussing gambling and the expansion of it in our state. What do you think?
I think that's a good way to increase revenue. I feel like that'd be a good thing. If it's done responsibly, I think gambling can be a lot of fun.
And then question 3 talks about animal rights and I don't know, actually. I'm not that informed on it.
I hate vegans.
You hate vegans.
I don't care about animals at all.
I'm here with Liz McGrath now. Liz is a senior. She is 18 and she can vote. We're talking ballot questions. Question 1 would allow for the expansion of gambling. Are you for or against that?
I think I'm going to vote against it because I feel like we probably have enough gambling in this state, but I don't know that much about question 1.
Question 2 talks about the expansion of charter schools. What do you think about that?
I'm going to vote no on that one because all the information I've seen says that it's going to take money away from public schools, and that's like the last thing that we need.
Question 3 talks about animal rights.
I'm going to vote yes for that one because I think it's just like not allowing food and like animal products from places that keep animals in cages that are too small for them to like turn around, so it's probably not a great thing.
Oh. And question 4, the big one, the legalization of marijuana.
Definitely pro because I think it's about time. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Liz. So I'm here now with Brendan Burke, who's a freshman. Brendan, we're talking ballot questions. Question 1 talks about gambling. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not old enough to gamble, so I don't know. I have like no thoughts on that really. So.
All right, thank you. Question 2 talks about expansion of charter schools. What do you think about that?
Depends if the parents are rich, I guess. Give them have them more money to pay, because they can afford it clearly. So.
Yep, sounds good. Question 3 is animal rights. What do you think about animal rights?
I don't know. Give animals more rights, I guess.
Animals more rights. And question 4, the big one, legalization of marijuana. What do you think?
I'm never gonna smoke weed. I'll just say that. So if you smoke weed, I guess it's cool for you, but I don't know.
Sounds good.
It's in the eye of the beholder. So.
Eye of the beholder. Heard it here first. Thank you very much, Brendan. Have a good rest of your day.
Well, that was quite shocking. None of them really knew any of the questions.
They're really uninformed. I'm glad most of them can't vote.
Yeah, and those who did know had pretty terrible answers.
I wouldn't say that. That's kind of mean. And now for sports. The football team plays later this evening on the turf against Whitman-Hanson. Kickoff for that game is at 7 o'clock. Boys soccer travels to Rockland Saturday to play their first round game at 2:30. Girls soccer plays right after school today. That's happening right after school, so we can maybe put the score right there. Bang. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but it'll be there.
I'm so excited to find out.
I'm excited to find out, too. Wow. Field hockey won their first tournament game 2-1 yesterday, and they host Falmouth Saturday at 4 o'clock. Be there.
In local news, Mrs. Hall's D-Block War Lit class is putting on a VEDX, the Scituate High School spin on the TED Talks next week. Next Thursday, November 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Scituate High School Library, open to everyone. Students, parents, faculty, and especially veterans will come in to talk. Thursday night was the Shore meeting, and a number of exceptional programs got funding. The Lit to Film TV production groups received several video cameras.
The Real Conversations Club received funding for T-shirts. The photography class was able to purchase new Canon cameras.
Ooh.
Funds were allocated for the veteran speeches at VEDX. And the Vocational Life group got a new shed. The junior class received funding for their field trip to World's End.
Oh, wow.
That's you.
Yes,
get
it
to go to
is.
World's
That
End.
is my grade level.
And the engineering department got a new 3D printer, which is amazing.
Goodness.
Technology's awesome.
Yes, Scituate High School has got a load of new goodies this week.
It's like Christmas has come early.
Christmas in November.
And now for everybody's favorite segment, does the water filter work?
Yes, it does work.
It works.
Yeah.
And now for some information on why it works, we spoke to the engineering group who fixed it.
Poisonous drinking water, an epidemic or a crisis?
So this is what you're looking at. This is the filter that's been in the cafeteria for so long. It's pretty nasty, and that's why it was so slow, is because all this stuff is getting in the way of the water flowing through the filter. Don't be concerned by this. This is after about 5,000 gallons. Your water would look perfectly clear. You wouldn't see any of this if there weren't a filter there. It would just be perfectly good drinking water coming out of the tap. So So this is why it's been slowing down so bad, and this is why they need to get replaced every 3,000 gallons. We're currently working to build a new filter because these ones are too damn expensive for the school, and it's just not.
And how much do these
not
filters
working.
normally cost?
Too damn much. 120.
$125. That's been price hiked twice.
120 a
since we-
G.
Yeah, that's.
So talk about what it is. Like what
So all this black, this is all your dirt, all your grime, all the stuff, the rust and stuff that's coming off the pipes every single day. But you won't have to worry about this stuff normally. It's not going to impact your health if you drink a water that's not being filtered. This is just after a ton of water. So this is like, it would be, your water would be as clear as that water bottle right there without the filter anyways. This is just sort of getting all the bad stuff out.
The white stuff is just PVC.
That's the PV stuff. So when we cut this thing in half,
open.
some black sludge down in the bottom, that's always nice. You want to take a look at that? Ooh, look at that.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's lit.
It is lit. And we're currently building a new filter that's going to be cheaper, so we won't have a crisis like this where the water's not being filtered.
It's been a great week here at Scituate High School. We got new funds from shore, a new water filter, and as always, everybody, thanks for hitting play.